Hello friend, this is Paper Kitty. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, well, I'm so excited and I thank you for joining me. I hope you will find this episode to be inspiring and fun. As you can see, I am going to be working on or continue to work on my Christmas junk journal. It's a pink Christmas junk journal. I have this beautiful lace. It is a vintage curtain. So that's kind of interesting, I think. And but it's just so very, very beautiful, and I just really enjoy using it. As you can see, I'm not going all the way to the end of the cover there because this is mainly going to be covering the back. And so now I'm kind of figuring out how I want to do the spine. And so I do decide to use this gorgeous ribbon. I really, really love this ribbon. And so I was trying to figure out how I would want to use it, and I decided to go ahead and cover the spine all together because it just felt right to do it that way. I was gonna just kind of make it peek out on one of the on the left side there where that lace begins, but then I already made the cover, and the cover is not complete yet, but it is, as you can tell, in a separate I did the cover separately, which is, it could be a quick tip for those of you who might be interested in doing it that way. I know some of you may have more experience than others, and the beautiful thing about junk journals is that there's not just one way to make one, and so we can get ideas all the time and do things a little different and be more efficient or just try something new, and it's really fun and creative and enjoyable. So anyway, I did do the cover separately. The cover as you see it there is not finished. But anyway, I'm now showing you how I spread my glue with that brush. You do have to be quick to wash your brushes if you're going to use them for glue. And obviously you don't want to use good brushes. You want to use brushes that you can spare because they do get pretty ruined. So you don't want to go spending a lot of money on that. But that is a way that I like to do this, to make sure that it's adhered properly. Also, as I'm looking at that beautiful closure, it's organza material that was cut into like a strip, kind of like a ribbon. And but I actually did that way at the beginning, and I will be putting my two previous videos below, but I actually don't show how I put that, and that would probably just have to be on another video. But I did want to just quickly talk about how I did that. Even though I'm not showing you, I did put that in there before I put the inside panels of the junk journal, because the inside of the cover I ended up putting fabric. But before I put the fabric, I adhered that fabric to a board. And so that's a nice way to get your measurements good, and before you adhere it to your book. So that's another maybe tip. So there again, that's another way of doing things. You don't have to do it that way. I have done it a lot of different ways, but I kind of like it. I like doing it that way because I felt like if I made a mistake or I did something I didn't like, I would just not adhere those panels, and so I felt like it just gave me a little more flexibility. So now you see that I am adhering the cover. Like I said, this is not the final cover. I actually do a little bit something else, a couple different things to it, and so I will kind of go over that in the near future. Maybe in the next video or two, I will probably have something where I probably do a little flip through or something, kind of showing you that in a little bit more detail. But here I am making sure that ribbon is adhered well on all sides and that the cover is adhered well. And so I'm just kind of securing all this stuff down and kind of just making sure it's glued. And so yeah, this is actually, I did skip that part where I put that little applique. I thought that little applique just gave it that amazing touch that it needed, and also the gold trim on the right side of the book. So I really enjoyed that, and I think it makes the book just beautiful. And so now you see the inside of that panel, the ribbon is behind it, so what I did is that I adhered that first, and then I put the panel over it so that it's really well adhered. And then now, of course, I did make a little pocket there, and so that is my first spread. And that first spread, that first page has some really cool tulle and some, it's kind of like a shaker page. It's got some sequins in it and gold doily. Thought that was really, really pretty. So here I'm just kind of showing you my next steps. And so, basically what I like to do next, it's not like etched in stone, but it is one of the things I look to do is, the very first spread, when you open the book, you see the front cover on the left side and then the first page on the right. That's got to be very beautiful to me because it is the beginning of the book, and it's going to kind of give you the feel for the rest of the book. The next thing I like to do is the centers of the signatures, and that's another place where I like to work next because, again, it's a spread that kind of calls attention, and you have the ability, because it is in the center of the signature, to kind of do a little bit extra. And so I like to reserve those elements that I'm really loving and inspired by to those places. And I find that once I work on those areas in that order, then anything else I do after that is okay. But the main thing is that I made the back and the front panels the way that I wanted them, because they are the beginning and the end of the book. And so now I'm working on the back, and there was a little bit of wrinkling on that little crease there where the book folds, and I didn't really love it. So I went ahead and got some Fabri-Tac and some lace, and that really took care of the problem because you can no longer see anything bulging out, and it's just really, really cute. I love having that lace there. Anyway, any excuse to put lace on a book is just great for me. So yeah, that little tag back there, by the way, it is a Santa. I kind of didn't want to do so much Santa, but this paper pad does have a lot of Santa in it, and it didn't have as much ephemera as I would like. So I'm kind of on the hunt for different dyes and things like that to continue to play with this book. But it's not going to just be from this collection because, yeah, they didn't have a whole bunch. But anyway, I totally love this first spread with that first tag. Sorry that I'm a little bit out of frame there, but then the next thing is that I'm going to work on is the space between the signatures. So in this case, I have 2 signatures, and so this is the space between them. And so this is another place where I like to work next because, again, it's kind of one of those milestones, if you will, of the junk journal, where, it's pretty noticeable and memorable. And so those are the places basically that I like to go for first. because again, I think that they're easier to kind of get to, and they make the book, they're kind of like little, I don't know what the word is right now, but anyway, it just seems like, I want to say milestones, but I think I already said that. But anyway, I guess it's just a place in the book where there's a division, and it's, I don't know, I just think that making those places the prettiest is a good idea, because then it kind of just helps you to spread out, all the elements that you love. Because otherwise, like, let's say if you just started on page 1 and continued on, and you just put all your really gorgeous things, for example, on the first 5 pages, well, then you're done. And then you would have kind of a little, maybe lopsided book, chunky on the beginning, and then the rest would be just, I don't know, it just wouldn't look balanced. So I think this is a good way to make it look balanced. Look at that nutcracker with the pink suit. That is just so brilliant, and I love that so much. And then, so this is the other side of the front page, which has got that gold doily. I just absolutely love it. I'm so stingy with it too. They're not cheap, those gold doilies, they kind of add up, but I just really, really love them. So I'm really excited about having that. So now this is like a little snippet roll that I did when I was making the cover for this book. Like I said, I didn't show you every detail of what I've done here at every, point, because it's difficult to do that and get a junk journal done. So I've just kind of taken you on as I've been going along. And, sometimes my phone will, run out of battery or something, and I will continue to craft, or sometimes I just don't necessarily want the stress of it. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness, I love it. So anyway, that snippet piece, I cut it and then I sewed it and then I adhered it there so that it is a belly band. And then I put that little thing that says "Be Merry," that little gold foiled sentiment. And I just absolutely love this spread. And that little nutcracker, I could have made him like a little pocket on the side, but I just thought, I don't want it to, I didn't want to have to get into making more, pockets that were like that, because I have other ideas for pockets that are going to be kind of in a different direction. So I just went ahead and adhered that, what do you call that, nutcracker. So now I am playing around with this other little snippet roll, and as you can see, I'm having a hard time deciding how I want to use this little ornament. It's pretty flat, which I like, and so that's helpful. But it's still a little chunky, and it's got like an iridescent white, that little snowflake, and so it's really pretty. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to make that piece of snippet roll into a pocket or a belly band, but I went ahead and sewed it, and now I'm adhering little pieces there that I guess I didn't catch with the sewing. And so here I am putting some glue on the top and bottom, because I have decided to go along with the belly band. And I'm gonna go ahead now and adhere this pretty little sentiment here, and I can't remember what it says. I'm obviously doing the voiceover, and so hopefully we can see it together. I think it says "Be" or "Happy Holiday" or something, which honestly, I don't like saying happy holidays. I prefer saying Merry Christmas. But anyway, that's just my personal preference. So, but I had that sentiment and it was goalful and it fit well there. So I thought, well, we'll just put that down. And then this, like I said, the snowflake, I did use the Fabri-Tac for that because I definitely needed something a little bit heavier. So nearing the end of this episode, and I'm kind of just going through here and showing you a few of the things we have done. I will be working on the signatures, on the inside of the signatures, in the next episode. So I hope that you will join me for that. If you want to keep up and follow, be sure and hit the subscribe button so that you will be able to then hit the notification bell. And then when you hit the notification bell, press all, the option all, because if you don't do that, it just sends you some of the videos just kind of randomly. So you definitely want to hit subscribe, notification bell, and then all, so that you will be able to see videos as I put them out for you, especially if you're interested in following this series. So yeah, I love the way the centers come out, and so I definitely want to try to work on that video for next time. But definitely give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment. I really appreciate all of your comments. Love you so much. Love you so much.